Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is April 12th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the storm off the coastline here, dropping down towards California, largely missing much of the Pacific Northwest, except for this moisture that's going to be spreading back northward. Could kick off a few thunderstorms as we go through the next few days, even a severe thunderstorm threat across portions of eastern Oregon towards Idaho today. And then we're going to get a bit of a break, and then another system is going to drop out of the northwest. We'll take a look at all those details as we go through the video this morning. Now, looking at the visible satellite, you can clearly see this driving down the coastline here. Then we're going to get this wraparound moisture. It's going to be spreading back up across Oregon for the next few days. But today, there is got severe thunderstorm risk coming up here. You can see Mount Rainier with the GOES 18 satellite imagery, some of the snow-capped mountains across British Columbia and Idaho, as well as these mid and high-level clouds stream across the area. This is Spokane, Washington. Are talking about some of this thunderstorm threat here. You can see some brief downpours, gusty winds, lightning, small hail, 20% chance, and this was issued yesterday. This is highlighting the severe risk today. You can see just towards Pendleton here, and then again tomorrow across some areas, including Bend, Oregon. And you'll notice this does come back and clip some I-5 corridor for Western Oregon, both today and tomorrow. This is for today. This hasn't been updated yet here, but again, the severe threat will be off to the east. And this is Medford, Oregon, but it has been pushed westward to include some of Western Oregon here with that thunderstorm threat. Now, this is the big change coming for places off to the east, Idaho Panhandle and some of western Montana here as we go through this cooler, chilly air mass that's going to move down across the region. And you can see Tuesday temperature 20 plus degrees cooler than Sunday, and I'll show you that in the weather models here in a moment. And one more wide spread look here at the view of the general thunderstorm risk. It does include some of the I-5 corridor in Western Oregon. You can see where the severe threat is located, and this would be for tomorrow, again impacting potentially the I-5 corridor. Day 3 pushing off to the east, but still includes eastern Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana. Now, taking a look here at SeaTac, 55 degrees, 58 is the average high for this time of year. Nowhere near that record high of 80 degrees set back in 2004. Just a trace of precip here, not a big precipitation maker across the Pacific Northwest, except with some of that thunderstorm activity. Now, if you want a nice, affordable home weather station, click on that link down below to save 10% off. All solar-powered, ultrasonic anemometer, haptic rain gauge, stores all the data for you in the cloud. Now, taking a look at the GFS, this is hot off the press. It's actually running as we speak. Here goes our storm system dropping down the coastline here. And if we put that into motion, you can see that that's going to set up shop off the coast of California. And we could get a couple nice days across some of Southwest BC, Washington, and portions of Oregon, except for the thunderstorm activities we go through this weekend. But then we have this next system here, and the models are kind of backing off on the strength of this a bit. But you can see it is a trough driving down across British Columbia, across Washington, Idaho, and Montana as we go on into early next week. But then we get this ridge building all the way up across southeast Alaska and up into Canada here, northern British Columbia. And we could start to warm up again next week. So cross your fingers for that if you like some nice warm spring weather. Taking a look at 700 millibars, 10,000 feet, put that into motion. You can see that system setting up off the coast of California there, and that will be spinning here and again spreading some moisture back up over Oregon at times. Thunderstorm threat all the way through Sunday, and then the next system starts rolling down in here. You can see the chillier air start to arrive as we go on into the early portion of next week, and then that ridge is going to try to build, and still some uncertainty on how that's going to unfold, of course, at this time range. Taking a look at the European, put that into motion. You can see the storm system right off the coastline here, and you can kind of see it spinning right across California here, and then spreading some thunderstorm activity as we go through today, tomorrow, and probably again on Sunday. As you can see some of that moisture popping up across the Blue Mountains, Idaho, and Montana there as well. And then the next system will be hot on the heels of that one. You can see some convergent zone activity potentially here for western Washington, and hopefully bringing a bit of snowfall with it as well. Here's the North American model. This is for today, so let's put this into motion here. And just kind of correlate. You can kind of see that there's thunderstorm activity today, and you can kind of see those heavier showers moving up across the area. Can't rule out some of that activity for southeast Washington as well, across Idaho and Montana. And then as we go on into tomorrow, you'll notice some of this activity pop up again, mainly across central Oregon. Could be some prolific lightning producers out there. And then as we go through the day Sunday, you'll see some of these showers pop up again in this area here. So we'll be watching that one for sure. And then the next system will be arriving Look at the European last night's run. Put that into motion. You can see how southern Oregon is getting some snowfall out of this system, but not much for the Pacific Northwest. A little bit for British Columbia here as we went through the initial stages of this, or as we go through the weekend, I should say. And then the next system rolls through here, and the European is not very bullish on bringing much snow to the Cascades of Washington and Oregon here with that one. So kind of a downtrend there with that system. Now, taking a look at the North America National Blended Models, actually, and this is for today. You can see some nice temperatures across the Willamette Valley here, eastern Washington, Oregon. Here's tomorrow. Check it out. Might be a nice day out there. Look at Portland, 73, maybe a little bit warmer than that. And you can see eastern Washington, maybe some upper 70s. As we go through Sunday, probably another nice day here. Then we start to cool down again as that next system starts rolling in here. Excuse me. And as we go through Tuesday, you can see we remain chilly. But then as we start to go towards the end of next week, check it out. Some 70s returning, maybe even some 70s into western Washington. Look at southwest BC warming up. You can see the valleys all the way up into British Columbia start warming up this time of year. And you can see Saturday, Sunday, maybe we'll get a nice weekend of it as, for the next one coming up here as well. Looking at total precipitation in inches, national blend of models. And again, you can kind of see how the thunderstorm activity is the main driver of this precipitation across Oregon for the next couple of days. And then we start to look off into the next system there, and you can see a little bit for Seattle, some for the mountains, and not too much. I was hoping for a little bit more out of that one, but we'll take what we can get. This is looking at total snow. Scroll through this pretty quick. You can see the storm bringing some nice snow to California. And then that next system does bring some good snow to the Rockies. And the National Blend of Models has a bit more here for the Cascades of Washington, Oregon, up into British Columbia as well. 6 to 10 day, above average. Kind of a mixed signal here. You can see the below across a lot of the Rocky Mountains here in Montana, Idaho versus the above right along the immediate coastline. Here's the 6 to 10 day as we go through April 21st. Below average signal here across much of the west coast. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. April 25th coming up here. Go above average signal there. Maybe that ridge will start to bring some nice temperatures in here towards the end of the month, and a below average signal as well. Snowpack, as you can imagine, hasn't changed much. Not doing too well. Hopefully we can wring out some snow out of that next system here, because we're starting to get later and later into the season. Much better across the southwest and southern Oregon, Idaho here versus Montana, Washington, Idaho, and British Columbia not doing too hot. But yeah, so if you are in the eastern portions or even across some of the I-5 corridor of the Willamette Valley, western Oregon, eyes on the sky today. Watch out for some of that lightning activity out there. Some of these, especially east of the Cascades, could be prolific lightning producers. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys are having a good day. We will do this again tomorrow, break everything down, and I will talk to you guys then.